Welcome to Mercy's Designs. My name is Mercy and I sell Stampin' Up! Products. In today's tutorial, I would like to show you how I made this diamond spring fun fold card. And the spring means it springs here. Now I made a masculine version using the Royal Peacock set, and I will try to show that at the end. And if I forget, I'll add a picture and also link to the tutorial for that. Anyhow, to get started with, we're going to work on our base and do some scoring and cutting. And I did want to point out that this does fit in a 6x6 envelope, including the tag inside. So I'll just show how that looks on the back. This tag would be a good place, right? For this one I have to and from, but the next one that we're going to be making now, it's going to be to write a note. And this would be an ideal card to give for maybe a birthday or a just because gift. So let's go ahead and get started. So here is my cardstock, and this measures 5.5 by 11. This is my template, so if you can see that. And I will also list in the comments below all the dimensions, and we'll talk more about it as we go. So to get started, we're going to bring in our cardstock, and at 5.5, I'm going to go ahead and score this. So that's the first step. The next step is we're going to be using our pencil, and we're going to be marking. So my first mark is going to be at 2 3/4. So I'm going to go ahead and mark there, and that will become our point. And my cat here, or my daughter's cat, is on the table with me, so this should be interesting. I wonder how this is going to go. Okay, so now I'm going to mark it 2 3/4, and then I'm going to flip it around and mark again at 2 3/4. So right here and right here. And next we're going to start doing our crisscross with the scoring. So I'm going to line up here, and then I'm going to line up over here at this 2 3/4 mark. So I'm going to get in there, and we will, okay, now I guess you can see the kitty. I think she got her little head in here. She's a very friendly cat, but not the best for taking videos with. And that is a bit of a problem. Okay, so because she's distracting me as well, and I'm getting off my game here. All right, I'm going to go ahead and line this one up and the one lower. I don't know if you can see this all on the screen, but we're going to try. Okay, so then you score there. Now I'm going to score this measurement right here. So flip it again, and we're going to go in 2 3/4. Now the 2 3/4 measurement, if you keep that in your head, that's pretty much a lot of what you have to keep in mind. So for this part, we're going to go from here to here to make our, cut off that triangle and to make the point for the diamond. So this part is kind of important. I'm going to set aside the scoring, and we're going to go right here. So that's the waist, and then I'm going to flip this around and go ahead and cut that part off. Let's, get this on straight. Okay, so I'm going to try to show this fully. Okay, so that is going to be our waist. I'm going to set that aside, and we will get started on going ahead and burnishing this, and then we'll be doing a little stamping. So, oh, I guess I could keep erasing. We're going to burnish here. And then flip this around, burnish here. And so these are our mountain folds, as you can see here and here. And now we want to do some valley folds. here and here. And this is where if you got things off, you will notice. So it looks pretty good. Looks pretty square. And that is what makes this whole mechanism. Now we will glue this to here and then set it aside and start some stamping. So I'm just going to go ahead, quickly add this, and after that it's all about decorating. So you just set it down and you want to hold it, and I'm just going to take my stamp and we're going to set this to the side and we're going to bring in the Stamparatus. So I wanted to explain a little bit about the stamping. So I will bring in this little piece of paper that shows about what colors while I set up. So I'm not sure quite how to fit everything here. All right, so here's our Stamparatus, and I've used some temporary adhesive to hold them in, and I don't know if I used too little or too much, but we'll see. Okay, apparently not enough. So I'm just gonna reposition this, and it is definitely sticking there. Put it back in and add a little bit more of that temporary adhesive so it doesn't keep popping up. So what I like to do is the first step is filler, and that's your light tone ink. The second step will be the medium tone ink, and that's these highlights kind of. And then the final step is my outline. And so I will speed this up because I don't want this to be too long, but I wanted to just explain that so you'll get to see this in action. All right, sit back and enjoy the music. Okay, so here we have our flower and our leaf, and I kind of made a few boo-boos. I kind of messed up with my order and forgot to do the leaf in the first place, but I hope you will do as I say and not as I did and get the idea on how that works. Okay, so now the fun part, decorating our card. So I will bring that back in and we can get to work. So here is our card, and one of the things I did was putting a piece of embossed cardstock right here, and I will bring that in so that we can do that. This is with the Mosaic, and it's just gorgeous. And it's beautiful that way, but I do want to add a little bit of coloring. So I'm going to do that and speed that up as well. Okay, so here's our beautiful mosaic sponged and ready to add to our base. So I will quickly do that. And then we're going to bring in our DSP and start adding the elements. This is just a fun card, but it does take a little bit of time. So it definitely doesn't qualify as one of your quick and easy cards. But I think it's worth it, and it's really, really cute. So this DSP is the from the pressed petals, and it is somewhat directional, but not really obviously, so it works quite well. Unlike this side, which it has letters, that would not work so well. Okay, so I'm just sliding this into place, and where you want to kind of make up if there's any irregularities would be up against here, this part, when you're applying this DSP. So just going to quickly add this, and we will get going with our front, the rest of the front, which is adding the beautiful rose. So I went ahead and stamped the sentiment just to save time, and we're going to just put it down here. And this is a great, beautiful sentiment to give to someone, I think, a close friend. So I'm just going to add this like so. I think I added the other one a little higher, but each one will be different and turn out a little differently. So I'm going to add a few dimensionals now for this card, and I'm only going to do a couple in the center so that if there's any overlap anywhere, that I'm not locking myself into that, because some of it does hang out over the side, and this is also a little higher, so I don't want any of my it to be popped up there. So on the front of the stamp cover, it shows this as the side, so I kind of look for that leaf, and then I'm just going to pop this so that it's just above the leaves but overhanging on the label. Here is our leaf, and I'll quickly add this as well. And again, this will overhang slightly, and it really won't be a problem with mailing if it overhangs a little bit. Now keep in mind, when you use the 6x6 envelopes, you will pay additional for postage. So the next part is to hold the pocket, and I used the largest of the shaped stitch squares, and I will go ahead and speed this up so that, again, we save a little bit of time, but you can see how it will come together. Okay, so here it is, and you can see this is just like a nice little pocket, and we're going to now make a tag to go in there, and the tag will serve as a place to write a note. Another place you could write a note is here, but for this one I decided I wanted to do the tag. So I'm going to bring in our delightful tag topper and some stamps, and we will get this one started. So I have already gone ahead and cut some DSP to layer with this, and the measurements I have written here. So I'm just gonna move this so you can read that while I quickly add this to our tag, and this will layer on nicely. So I'm going to butt this up at the top, and of course this paper, this DSP is not directional, so it's extremely forgiving and easy to work with. So now I'm just going to release my delightful tag topper punch, and I'm going to slide this in. And this is a 2-inch piece, which is what it handles. It also handles 1.5 and it handles 1 inch, which is really cool too. So lots of options. All right, so to decorate this, I have some already pre-stamped flowers here, and this is from the Floral Essence. Ooh, I'm grabbing the wrong punch. Okay, so this is the Perennial flower, and you want to stamp it so it's the petal is at the top. So I punch that, then I'm turning this around, and you will fit a lot more in if you do it in a cookie cutter pattern. I'm not sure what's the best way to explain that, but you know what I'm saying. You can get the most out of your paper. So I kind of feel like the lighter fades out, and I kind of like that. So I'm going to go with that. There's no right or wrong here. Just add a little bit of glue, not a ton. And we're going to quickly layer this on. I think this is just really adorable. So for the center, I've gone ahead and die cut out a piece of, where is that little, oh, here it is. Felt, yellow felt, and it has a adhesive back. So this is a 1/2 inch. They also have those adorable fuzzy centers in the catalog, which are also extremely cute. All right, so I'm just going to add this about here, and I just realized that I forgot my little sentiment here, which I will add later. I will show the example, my original example, what I had there. This hello, that's really too bad I forgot that. There's always something you forget, oh well. So, oh, that's right, I did add a dimensional here instead. So I'm going to just add this to the center, and there's a good reason to add the dimensional, so this slips in and layers, which I'll explain. All right, so we're just going to put this towards the top, and we're going to pretend I did not forget my little nested label here for the hello, like this. I cannot believe I forgot that, but you know, there were a lot of different elements for this card, so you'll have to forgive me. And I am now trying to locate the little piece I cut out, the little leaf, which I'm having trouble locating. So I will go ahead and stamp this, and we'll speed that up while I fussy cut that out. Okay, so I also realized that I forgot my snips. I don't know what happened to them. They might still be on this table, but no point in being too concerned over little details, right? All right, so I'm just going to go ahead and add this, and then when I take pictures at the end, I will go ahead and add the hello so you can see that, how that looks. But you can see also on my example, my first example. So it's really important to go ahead and put this down straight so it doesn't catch when you're sliding in and out. Here is our little piece to decorate the inside, the back side of this card, so we can write our note. And they have this beautiful little sentiment. It says, all days are beautiful that begin with you, and I thought we would do that one. So I'm just going to use the Merry Merlot. If you want something a little lighter, just go with the Rococo Rose or Petal pink, and you can kind of write over it. So I'm not going to do anything else. For my other one, I thought about adding a flower here, so you could do that as an alternative, stamp that and not have the writing if you feel like this is a little over the top. All days are beautiful that begin with you. It is kind of a little bit over the top, but it's really pretty. And this is supposed to be a really special card. Maybe if you are making one for your sister or a close friend, perhaps. I guess the friendship thing, well, hopefully we can be friends with our sisters and people that are close to us. So I'm going to go ahead and this time try this trim. It's the scalped lace trim instead of doing the baker's twine. Either one would work, but I thought this might add another little element. So I'm just trying to thread this through. And you definitely need a pretty flexible twine for this. And I just thought of an idea actually. Well, we'll see how this works. I am going to use a little bit of the baker's twine just to secure this. So I'm just going to do a little bow perhaps, or even just knot it. So here we go. A lot of people do this and it is cute. So we're just going to try it. Sometimes it's fun to try a few things that you normally don't do, but I've seen a lot of demonstrators do this. So let's see if it works for me. All right, I just need to slide it down further. Okay, so my one side of the ribbon is a little short, but let's see if we can make this work. Okay, that's not too bad. Not bad for my first try. I'll just need to finesse with this a little bit more and it will be perfect, right? Famous last words. Okay, so I think that's really cute. Again, I feel bad that I forgot my hello here, but you can just imagine that there. And I'm going to bring back in my card and show how this will work. So here is our card, and I want to just slide this in, and we have this, and it really looks like it belongs there. I think that's really adorable. So thanks for watching. And if you have any stamping needs, please email me at mewants3@gmail.com. Please consider subscribing. And if you have any questions or comments, please leave a comment below. I love hearing from people. And I hope that this was helpful and you'll consider making it. Maybe you could comment and tell me if you've decided that you're going to give this a try. It's really not as hard as you might think. Here's my template, and this is the rectangle for message if you choose to put something under here. But I think it's really cute with the tag. Obviously, without it, it looks a little bit weird, perhaps this way, but I think it works. And I wanted to show quickly how this does fit in an envelope, a 6x6. Now, keep in mind, you have to pay extra for postage if you choose this option. So if I just tuck that in, it actually will close. Very cool in my opinion. I love this this card, the Diamond Spring Foil Fun Fold card. And there we have it. All right, thanks so much again for watching, and happy stamping.